Que yo va a subir y usted va a bajar con los zapatos de changote, mi changota, changoteito Dios batala y papá lo ayer. Padre mío San Lázaro, ay Padre mío Padre mío San Lázaro, ayúdanos en nombre de Dios. Padre mío San Lázaro, ay pero que sea de corazón. Padre mío San Lázaro.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for another edition of The Divination Table with your host, Michael Lennon. Tonight's guest comes to us from that beautiful, sunny Florida. He's a spiritual worker, diviner, maker of awesome spiritual oils, powders, and chicken foot charms, and the owner of Raven's Alley. He's a root worker, oracle card reader, ceremonial magician, Celtic folk musician, as well as a master mason offering spiritual guidance for those in need. Let me bring on our special guest, Tata Keith Swift. Hello and welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Ibn Nisyon, how are you?
Nisyon, alaikum assalam. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful, brother. Absolutely wonderful.
I am so happy to hear you and see you here today. You know, I've been waiting to get you on. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about how we first met online. You know, I go out and I search for every guest. And you and I, it was kind of a freak little thing, and I wanted to share it because I thought it was kind of funny. Sure. You know, I look for all the guests that I bring onto the show, and sometimes they just come to me in the oddest and strangest ways. So one day, Tata Swiss was out shopping, and he posted up a picture of a package of chicken feet. And, you know, it became a joke between him and I about, you know, being the chicken man. You know, but I've come to learn and respect him a great deal. You know, as a great reader, a great diviner, you know, great spiritual worker. You know, so I'm so glad to have him on.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, I found some chicken feet. I was at a grocery store, and I ended up not actually buying those chicken feet. I just took the photo with them. Because that's not, you know, that's not the real traditional way to make the chicken foot talismans is from a grocery store. Right. So I just posted that up as a joke, just having fun, and that's how we ended up meeting each other.
Yeah, but it brought great things.
It did. Yeah, I have a farmer up in Jupiter I go get all my chicken's feet from, and everything's done ritually with those talismans when I make them, from how I gather them to how I create them, how I empower them, paint them, the whole 9 yards. So just so I'm saying this because I want people to be aware I don't buy my chicken's feet at the grocery store.
No.
I really do not.
No, I know. I just thought it was a funny joke because, I saw that and I was just like, I know he ain't doing that.
No. And that turned into, it's turned into a great, friendship between you and I because we chat practically almost daily.
Yes.
And there's been a few times where I've been just kind of like, screw this and screw that, and you've been like, hey, now perk up, sunshine. So it's really you've been there a couple of times where I've been really frustrated, and I really appreciate that.
That's what I love doing. I'm always there. It's not just the voice behind the radio.
Yeah.
We've developed a good friendship over the times that we've known each other since, first getting together on Facebook and just chatting back and forth. Because most people you friend, you never hear from.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
and on that chicken foot note, I almost made my Facebook page Tata Chicken Foot. But I thought, people look at that and think, what in the heck?
But people would remember it. But you do have another great name that people should be aware of, which is Raven's Alley.
Yes. Absolutely. That's my store.
Tell us what it is that Raven's Alley is and what you do.
Raven's Alley started off as a concept. It was a dream and a concept, and I wanted to take things I had learned over the 40 years I've been alive, not the entire 40 years, but the 30 of the 40 years I've been alive, whether it be from my parents to learning from my godparents to learning from other things that I have studied, whether it be, the Golden Dawn or whether it be masonry or the other things that I've been involved in over the years. I wanted to take everything that I had studied and come across, and I wanted to put it together in one concept and offer a little bit of everything for everybody. And so I was really racking my head, and I came to the idea one day that I needed to create a store. And through that store, I can offer supplies, whether you're Wiccan, whether you're traditional witchcraft, whether you're an ancestral worker, whether you're Polaro, Centero, whatever you are. Buddhist, the whole 9 yards. But I also wanted to offer services through that, whether it's doing conjure or traditional Irish folk workings or candle work, whatever, people are looking for, as long as when I divine on it, the spirits agree. Because if the spirits tell me no, I will not do work for you.
And that's an important piece of information because, as a spiritual worker, which you are,
yes,
and an oracle reader and diviner, it's
right.
important that we divine on everything. It's not just, take money and say, oh yeah, I can do this. There's a lot of looking into everything that goes on, everything that's surrounding the person, the situation, the issue, the influences, and also your own spirit saying, nope, you can't, or yes, you can.
And it's been happening to me a lot lately where my spirits have been saying no, and it's not because they don't want to do the work. It's just simply because they know that there's a deeper rooted issue. And then I don't like to use, well, I'll use the word, you kind of call people out as you're doing the divination, and you're like, well, it shows here that, this may be an issue. And then as you talk to the person, you figure out it is an issue. And so then you kind of let that person know, okay, if you want this work to be successful, if you want this work to be able to be done, this may be something that you need to fix with you. You need to fix you first.
Right. And
before
that's a hard thing for, some diviners to do, is to say, hey, you might have the problem and you need to resolve this issue first, because a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want the quick magical fix.
Yep. Well, and I guess the word I'll use for myself is I'm blunt to the point, but I'm not rude about it. But I will tell you that if I'm not able to do the work, I'm not able to do the work. Maybe there's somebody else that can do the work for you. I can refer you to my godfather. I can refer you to my yayi, my godmother. I can refer you to other great poleros and workers that I know that are, part of my manunzo, or that I just know in general that I think might be better for you. Because for whatever, for the reasons that I see through the divination that I can't do the work, I will tell you that. I won't just say no and hang up. I'm going to say, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. I'm going to be like, look, we can't do this work because you need to do this. This is what you need to fix.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's important, for the people to understand and to know what they need to work on. Because sometimes it is steps. You have to go through and peel the banana, peeling through all the layers.
And sometimes bananas have layers of onions.
Yes.
and layers.
So, as a diviner, you work with the psychic oracle cards?
Yes. I work with the psychic tarot oracle cards. And, I started off, like many people, with a... sorry, I had something fall. I started off doing, the regular, like, Hyatt weight tarot cards way back in the early 2000s. And, I was like a lot of people when they first start off, they get to the traditional tarot and they start working at that. But I got to a point with that where I felt this just isn't me. I'm not clicking with these cards. So I went through several different types of sets of cards. And finally, about 3 years ago, I got this set. I opened this set and I did everything like I was supposed to with this set. And I made it my set. I slept with it underneath my pillow for 3 nights in a row. I kept them with me in my bag when I went to work. Everything. They went everywhere with me. So my energy was always permeating on them. And then when I wasn't working, I was playing with them. And I was learning them. And there was something about this deck that just clicked with me. And I've been using this exact same deck for 3 years. And I have got such a relationship built with this deck that I've had one client, her exact words were, and she even put it on one of the posts on one of my Facebook pages, that it is scary accurate.
Well, I think it's important, as a diviner and having a deck, whether you read multiple decks or whether you read just one and do it phenomenally, as Charles Porterfield pointed out last time he was on, if you do one thing really great, it's a really great and wonderful gift to give to people,
Yes.
But you do have to have a very special connection and relationship with whatever oracle or whatever deck of cards or method of divining that you use.
Well, not only that, you need to have some sort of relationship with spirit as well.
Yes.
Or you're not gonna get the messages.
Right.
You're just gonna be reading cards and giving, for lack of better words, a basic half-ass reading.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that because, you can get certain information from books, and all the cards have certain meanings, and they have certain combinations of meanings and how they come together in your linear line or what's above or below.
Yeah.
But the real good messages are coming specifically with Spirit saying, hey, this set has to do with this particular issue.
Yeah.
And you can narrow it down and you can pinpoint. To
that point, like with this deck that I use, it's an oracle deck, and I don't want to say it's extremely intuitive, but it is an intuitive deck. You've got to be able to have a connection with the deck and with spirit when you're doing the reading, because I can draw this one card. Let's say I draw the Fulfillment of Wishes card. Okay? This Fulfillment of Wishes card can be the same message for everybody. It could be your wishes are going to be fulfilled, your wishes are going to be fulfilled. Or you can have that connection with your deck. You can have that connection with spirit. And depending on the other cards, because I do the 5-card draw kind of like a horseshoe. I put one in the middle and then 4 across the top in a circle.
Okay.
The card in the center represents the person. And that tells me the main issue in the first card I draw. And then I do the other 4, and then it tells me the whole story. So let's say I pull that Fulfillment of Wishes. I could just tell you, oh, well, all your wishes are going to be fulfilled and give you a really crappy reading. Or I can look at all those cards, listen to what Spirit's trying to tell me as a message, and know by the feeling I get that I'm right, then tell them, okay, listen, your Fulfillment of Wishes will happen, but maybe A, B, C, and D have to happen first.
Right.
So you